this video so I can do my makeup. But, and I just woke up. It's like 7 a.m. something. Haven't homeschooled yet, so I'll do that, like, whenever I'm done with my videos and, like, my other stuff I gotta do. Yeah, I'm excited. And so I'm doing the true crime on Larry and Danny Reigns, but I watched the movie called He Went That Way, and it was only based on Larry, and it was so good. The movie was He Went That Way. It was on Hulu, just regular, not like Hulu Live or anything, just like regular fucking Hulu. It has the guy from American Horror Story. Like, if you watch American Horror Story, you'll automatically recognize the guy. And then Larry was played as the guy from Euphoria that played Maddie's boyfriend, Nate. It was really good. I'm not glamorizing a serial killer. No, it was just the actors did really fucking good. Like, they were really, 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 really good. I got some Take Your Vitamins, so I need to use it to kind of damp that. But so I didn't even know there was like another person, like you know what I mean. But it all makes sense once I tell you the story. But they made it based on Larry because he ended up getting picked up by a hitchhiker, and I need to like read the story more, but yeah. And he's just a crazy fucking motherfucker, dude. Okay, anyways. What the fuck is this? Okay. Oh. So Larry and Danny Reigns, they're from Kalamazoo, Michigan. I don't even know if I said that right, but whatever. So I didn't really like get deep into like their parents and stuff, so I don't know if their like parents were abusive or not. But they were an American serial killer brothers who committed their crimes sprees in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I gotta clean that up when I go actually go look in the mirror. Like, let's actually look in the mirror for once. I don't have my mirror. I should have did this in my bedroom, but it's whatever. It's whatever. The kids are in there watching fucking Scooby-Doo, fucking Meets Courage. And they watched it the other day too, like they're obsessed, and I get it because it's actually a really cute movie. It's really cute. Okay, anyways, so Larry is a suspect. I can't talk, motherfucker. Is a suspect in the murders of 5 people in the 1960s, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment for one murder in 1964. Danny was convicted of 4 sexually motivated murders between March and August 1972. And then their case was unlike other siblings who engage in crime because they operated completely separately. So, like, instead of like doing it together, they never did. And so growing up, the boys were competitive of each other and had drinking competitions, and it said something about because of their parents. So I guess it's a little bit about their parents. Is their parents were competitive, so it makes I'm fucking competitive as fuck. I really am. Like, I'm genuinely fucking competitive as fuck. I hate losing. Like, I won't even play certain games because I know I might lose, and I'm too competitive. Anyways, I don't even know if my eyebrows like are fucking A I started reading about these dudes, I was like, what the fuck? They are really competitive, like, and they do it like in a like I don't even know how to explain it. In 1958, Larry was only 13 years old, like he was a baby. He was 13 and met a 23-year-old woman. There's like a saying where they're like, oh, boys are different. No, that bitch is a pedophile. That 23-year-old woman is a fucking pedo. And Sue, who had children, and he helped raise. Ew, I wouldn't even trust this bitch having children. Fuck, she's already like into children. There's actually people, like if you're on the sex offender list and you're a woman and you have babies, you'll get your children taken away. I'm not saying everybody does, but my mom knew somebody that was a sex offender, and she would lose her children right at the hospital because she was a registered sex. She was a level 3. You're not. I don't even think you're allowed to have children at that. But why are you having children if you're a fucking pedo? Anyways, in the early 1960s, both brothers were dating the same girl named Kathy from their high school. Now, Larry was dating his brother's girlfriend, and they were dating her. Did they know that? Like, did they know they were dating the same girl? Because it really didn't specify. It really didn't like specify like if they knew. I mean, like they probably had to have known, right? Like if you're sharing the same pussy. Larry was still dating Sue. Like he was a cheater, and he's always been a cheater. Like his whole life, like even when he was older, he cheats. And it took a toll taking in multiple relationships. It took a toll on Larry. It took a toll on him. It was probably because how women are, like men like can't handle it. How we like bitch and complain. But in reality, have you not heard how men complain and they just like act like it's just us when it's really them too? Actually, men are such babies. They're like such little whiners, man. I'm not saying all guys. I'm saying like some of them that I fucking know for sure. Causing him to drop out 10th grade. So he dropped out of 10th grade and turned towards a life of crime. My husband's not home. He's at work. So my kids are watching TV. So if you guys hear them, that's why. I can't really just like tell them to shut up, because they won't anyways. My little babies. You know what? As long as they're getting along, because they be fighting like cats and dogs, these kids. I'm telling you. Shh. And then so, in 1962, Larry and his friends stole a car, and then like literally got arrested like within the same day. And then the DA gave him a deal that if he joins the army, they'll like dismiss the case, because he was young. He was young. They always like give you what is it called when you're like really really young? They will like give you a chance to either change or you're gonna just continue. So he joined it. He was like, okay, I'm not fucking gonna go to jail. I'd rather just go to the army, even though the army's like considered fucking jail. I mean, like, I'm such a control freak. Like, I'm like such a controller. That like I could never join the military because I cannot stand. I would actually be me, like I would dead ass get in their face and then I'd get punished for that. Yeah, you get punished in the army, especially if you disrespect anybody. They're gonna punish you. So Larry, within like fucking shortly he already gets a bad reputation. Like he's already getting a bad rep. After his enlistment, being disciplined repeatedly for misconduct and chronic alcoholism. I didn't even know you were allowed to drink in the army. I had no idea. I thought there was like, I guess like if you go to the bar, you can go to the bar, right? I don't know. I've never been in the fucking army. I have no fucking clue. His brother, Danny, married Katie and had 2 children. So he dated his high school sweetheart that his brother was also dating. That's fucking weird. And then I wonder if they had like insecurity problems with that. Like, you fucking miss my brother, don't you? Like, I just like, do you think, like, did other people think like that or what? In 1963, Larry attacked a friend in a drunken rage, which led to his dismissal from the army. Yeah, you can't be violent, even though they're training you to be violent. You can't be violent towards your like colleagues and shit. You're gonna get in trouble. Oh god, this is scary. What the hell did my son just say? Shh. One day, the other day I was filming, and I watched the video back, and you can't hear it, but my son, I was like, shh, and I could hear him go, shh, like back at me. That's so funny. My little Cancer, they're little manipulators. I'm a Cancer too. I have Cancer moon. I'm a Libra rising and then Cancer moon. So I totally like am such an emotional person because I'm like Cancer. I'm a Gemini sun though. Thank God, because I fucking love being a Gemini. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's all fucked up. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Make it a little thicker. Make it a little thicker. Okay, let me talk. In 1963. Oh, just kidding. When he left the army, he went back to Sue and begged her multiple times to marry her, and she refused every time. I wonder why. Like, she's been with him since like forever. I mean, why not fucking marry the dude? I mean, you fucking groomed him. Like, why fucking not? You're already a fucking pedophile. Maybe it's because she wanted a younger child. Maybe that she wanted to marry. Maybe she wanted someone young again, and he's an adult now, and she's like, I'm not into adults. I don't know. Women can be pedophiles. I'm just giving you the fucking heads up. Women can be fucking pedos. It's not just fucking men. It's not just fucking men. And then so he tried to take his own life multiple times. You can tell he's egotistic because of her many rejects. I tasted weed in my mouth. So on May 30th, 1964, Larry was posing as a hitchhiker and was given a lift by a 30-year-old Gary Albert Smock. Now, I don't even know if this is the guy that was based on the movie. Like, I thought he lived, but maybe not. I don't fucking know. I need to look that up and see if the guy that was on the show, the Gary Albert, because I forgot to do that last night. I was so tired after writing this. It took me so long to like categorize what I was gonna write about. There was so much I could have written about, but it was just pointless shit that I don't care about. Like, I really don't care how they grew up and shit. I really don't give a fuck. They're fucking both disgusting predators and murderers, so I really don't give a shit about your life as a child. Like, fuck your childhood, motherfucker. Gary Albert Smock, he was a teacher. He was just passing through, and he's a nice guy. He just asked him if he needed a ride, like, just to be friendly, And back in that day, like, people, like, didn't, like, worry about serial killers. Even though there was a lot that was happening. But, like, they didn't have what we have now, where we can get on the internet and find out everything. So, he was just passing through Kalamazoo during this trip, and Larry brandished a weapon and forced Smock to climb into the trunk. What's brandished mean? Does that mean like clean in the gun, right? Or stole it? I don't fucking know. Brandished. Don't ask me. While on the trip with Smock, he tried to escape. Larry tied him up and shot him. Why tie him up and then shoot him? Like, why not just shoot him without tying him up? And then so he ransacked the car and left it, and cops found it a few hours later. Over the course of a few months, Larry told numerous people about the murder, and one of them was like an informant or whatever. Oh no, just kidding. Take that back. Resulting of his arrest the earlier morning of June 5th, 1964, he admitted his killings with items found on him of Smock's. So he had like items of Smock's. It was just obvious he did it. And then he also admitted to 4 other murders that he committed at like gas stations and shit. Like, just, I guess, like, you can call him the gas station killer at this point. Larry took a psychiatric evaluation which declared him insane, which makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Larry's trial began on September 29th, 1964. By the jury, he was guilty. If you're like admitting guilt, why go to trial? Like, just throw his ass in jail. But I guess you have to still go through trial if you admit your killings. I mean, that doesn't make sense at all, but whatever. Whatever, float your boat. Fucking stupid fucking cops and shit. They're just like idiots, man. Some of them are fucking straight up dumbasses. Like they get a badge and they like just know it all of a sudden. But there's also cops that are good and they save lives every day. But there's a lot of corrupt cops. Like, I'm just letting you know. Like, the town I live in, they literally fired a guy for having meth in his system and hired him back. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, no one. And I started to think, I was like, a lot of these cops look like fucking tweakers. They're like really skinny and like they suck on the pipe all day. And I'm like, yeah, I bet that evidence room is like garnished. Like, they're like, oh yeah, and another cop was selling drugs to citizens and then got his job back. So that was 2 different officers. But there was one cop here in this town that shot a guy, and lost his job. No pay, like fully got fired. Thank God, no suspension with pay. He shot them with an AK-47, and the family sued and got a lot of money. But money means nothing if you lost somebody over power, fucking control, egotistic motherfuckers. After his brother's conviction, Danny frequently began arguing with his wife. Now he's still with Kathy, his high school sweetheart that his brother was dating at the same time. And then so his wife started realizing he's demonstrating worsening sexual behavior. In 1968 of November, he attacked 18-year-old Dorothy King, taking control of her car at gunpoint. So he's either driving and has her at gunpoint, or she's driving and he has her at gunpoint. It's one of the two. And then so Danny attempted to drive to the outskirts. Okay, so he's driving. He's trying to drive the outskirts of town, so he could rape her multiple times. Like, he just kept raping her throughout the outskirts. But Dorothy managed to escape when he took a wrong turn. She fucking... Go. I'm doing my video. Go. Oh yeah. Go now. Go to the room. I'm doing a video real quick, okay? Danny was caught outside. Oh yeah. I forgot about this. So Danny was sitting outside his house. Or just kidding. Danny was sitting outside of her workplace. So imagine escaping your rapist, and then he's just casually just watching you from your job. You know how fucking terrifying that fucking would be. To think you finally got away and he's outside your work, just watching you like a fucking pedo. Not a pedo, but well, kinda. I mean, he's just a creep. He's a fucking rapist. And so yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna do my hair today or not. It's getting long. I miss my hair long. It used to be so long. When I would sit down, my hair would be touching my thighs and shit. Ugh. So what else? But Dorothy managed to escape. Oh yeah. Okay, so we're already past that. Okay, so on February 4th, 1969, Danny was found guilty of the assault of Dorothy. And then so Dorothy, a month later, he was sentenced to 3 or 4 years of imprisonment. They always give the victim a chance to identify the person, and she identified him and was yep, that's him. During prison time, his wife divorced him, and he was granted parole on February 17th, 1972. On July 5th, 1972, Danny and his accomplice Coster, so he instead of working with his brother, he was I'm just gonna work with a different guy. That's funny. And then they raped and killed 19-year-old Claudia Bistroff and Linda Clark at a gas station near I-94, where Danny was working at. So he's a disgusting freak. He's a fucking pussy bitch too. After killing them, the pair wrapped the victim's body his car. Koster drove to the woods near Galsburg, where he set it on fire to remove any evidence, like incriminating evidence, you know what I mean? Like, he was like, I'm gonna go down. The girl's remains were found 2 weeks later by a passing motorcyclist. On August 5th, Danny and Koster picked up 18-year-old hitchhiker Pamela Fearnow. Her last name's awesome. Threatening the girl with a knife, they took her to the woods, where they raped her several times before Danny strangled her using a plastic bag. He's a sick fuck. This is my last page. So, he's a fucking sick fuck. He's a fucking sick fuck. He's a fucking sick fuck. I'm sorry, I had a rumble. Like, when I'm looking for something, I'm just gonna do it quickly. I just cleaned, like, last night. I was like rage cleaning before I went to bed last night. I fucking like I hate doing the dishes. I always like try and tell my husband to do them. But I'll do laundry though. He doesn't touch the laundry ever. What a misogynistic bitch. I'm just kidding. Koster ended up revealing his guilt in the murders to some like coworkers, and one of them was an informant. That's why I got confused, and I was like, wait, I'm getting the people mixed up. So, in September this happened, and he was arrested September 5th, 1972, and admitted his guilt in the killings and snitching on Dan. Is that snitching? Just like told the truth, which is a good thing, like, you know, for the victim's sake. I don't know. I have to probably fix it in the mirror, but I can't really tell. Okay. And so, let's see. So after he snitched, Danny was later arrested that evening. Danny was charged with 4 murders October 1972. Koster was charged with second-degree murder on July 21st, 1975. He was sentenced to life in prison with a chance of parole. Larry maintained contact with his brother's ex-wife, Katie, who married him on March 22nd, She does not have good taste in men. 1976, Larry had 4 affairs with 4 different women while in prison. Larry Raines passed away in 2023. His brother passed away in 2022. So Katie left her husband, Danny, and then got with